two of the best-known boy bands in the last 20 years, but what do you get when you take Boyzone's Keith and Westlife's Brian?
Well, you get Boyzlife, and they join us now to tell us about their new album, Strings Attached, made with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. Good morning to you both.
Good morning.
Very lovely to see you.
Good morning. How are you?
Yeah, we're good. We're struggling through. Who phoned who to have this idea of Boyzlife?
Well, nobody phoned anybody.
Very briefly, I was just finishing up a play in the West End, A Handful of Stars, an Irish play. I'd done about 6 months in the Trafalgar Studios, and when I came out of it, I decided that I'd like to try and do something myself, put something together myself. So I came up with a concept to do like an autobiographical show, talking about 25 years in the music business and telling the story from my perspective of how it felt for us growing up in a working class background and then being catapulted into fame and into a boy band, into traveling around the world, and telling some funny stories about the people that we were fortunate enough to work with, like Pavarotti and B.B. King and Mariah Carey and all these amazing people that we got the great fortune to be able to work alongside. Brian and I have been friends from way back in '98, and we played golf together from time to time. We played a lot of the charity golfing events together, and on this particular day, Brian asked me, we met on the golf course, and Brian told me he was doing a gig with his band back home in Dublin in a really cool venue called Whelan's, which is it's a very credible rock joint for someone coming from a boy band to be able to perform in Whelan's is kind of really cool. There's a lot of kudos that goes with that. So I went down to see Brian's show, and to be honest, he blew the roof off the place. And only in true Dublin fashion, we had a couple of pints of Guinness after the show. And Brian says, "What are you up to at the moment?" And I said, "I'm trying to put together this kind of autobiographical show about my perspective in the boy band industry, you know." And he said, "Oh, that sounds fascinating. I'd love to do that." And I said, "Okay, come on board, join us."
And that's where it all started. So that was in sort of 2016. But it's only now, Brian, that you've decided to release the album and to actually go back into the recording studio. So what was that like?
Well, it was amazing. Obviously, as Keith said, it started off as an autobiographical show. So we've been kind of just doing the live performance thing for the last 4 years. But we did decide last year that before we move on, we wanted to do an original album of all brand new songs. But we decided before we could do that we kind of needed to have some kind of a wrap up to the last 25 years of our career. And we decided that the best way to do that was to kind of do the old songs but in a new way, and we decided to do it with the Royal Philharmonic Orchestra. So this is kind of our little kind of nod to the last 25 years before we start the future for Boyzlife.
There is nothing really, Brian, quite like singing with an orchestra. I mean, that's goosebump time, isn't it?
It is the most unbelievable thing. You can perform with a band, or you can perform with a track, but nothing will ever get you that when you have that orchestra behind you. Like, you can't explain it to someone. You have to experience it because you feel it all through your skin and your body vibrates when they're playing. It's just the most amazing feeling.
One of the tracks on the album was the '96 Boyzone classic, No Matter What. And Keith, I just wondered what that was like, going back and recording something like that. And did you have to get permission off the other boys in order to do it?
Well, no, I mean, any band can go and record any song they like. I mean, the publishing royalties will always go to whoever wrote the song. The record royalties will go to the people that recorded it. But the song itself obviously was a very special song for Boyzone. It was a turning point in our career back in the '90s, and you know, Boyzone's sound back then was very identifiable by Ronnie Keating and Stephen Gately's voice. They did all the lead vocals on most of our songs. Louis would never give anybody else a chance at the time. The song was written by Andrew Lloyd Webber for a musical called Whistle Down the Wind, and it was such a massive, iconic song for Boyzone, and it was actually one of the biggest boy band songs of all time at that time. So, you know, taking that song on, and like, we've all got our favourite songs by various bands that you might have followed growing up, and when you hear somebody cover those songs and they don't do it justice, or they don't do it as good as the original, it's kind of like, oh, why did you bother doing that? So, with No Matter What, I really felt that we had to put our own stamp on it. We had to make sure that we did it justice, that we showed it respect, that we showed Boyzone respect and Andrew Lloyd Webber. And it's a song that lent itself very, very well to an orchestral backing. And I really feel in my heart and soul that we did a great justice to the song. And the response we've had on social media has been nothing but positive. So I'm delighted about that, because I do want to respect everything that I've done with Boyzone in the past, and every individual member, and obviously try to put 120% into everything I'm doing going forward. So both Brian and I are delighted with the outcome of the album, but in particular, no matter what.
And Brian, I mean, you were touring, and then suddenly, I suppose, you know, that's it. It's lockdown. It's all over, and you find yourself suddenly at home.
Yeah, it was very strange, the whole experience for us, because, you know, I guess for a lot of people when lockdown happened, you know, their life was normal. We were in the most hectic part of our life, which is touring. I think we'd already done about 24 or 25 shows in the tour. And that is, in our job, when we're doing a tour, is the wildest part, because you're constantly staying in hotels, in cars, and every night is that big moment where you're on stage. So you're kind of, you know, it was a massive high in our life to then just go bang, just stop. Literally overnight it stopped. We came off stage, went to the next venue, and then we were told the tour is off. And we literally went home, and we've been sitting in our houses ever since. So we went from a massive high to a huge low.
Yeah.
But you know, it's nice. It hasn't been bad for us though. You know, I think, for me, lockdown has been great. We've been touring for 4 years straight. You know, we didn't get to spend any time at home. Most of our life is in a hotel or in an airport or at a gig. So for us to have, you know, two or 3 months at home where we kind of get to restock and just kind of, you know, take a look at our life and enjoy everything that we've achieved and take a break. We always threaten to take a break, and we always say, we'll take a few weeks off, we'll do this, and we never do it. Something always comes up, we have to do this gig or do the next opportunity. So for us, it's been a forced break, but it's definitely been well needed, and I've loved every minute of it. I know it's a horrible time for people, but I loved it.
Did you have your 40th?
I did, yeah. I turned 40 on the 12th of April. It was. I know it was. I didn't expect to have such a good day, because obviously it was right at the beginning of the lockdown and everything was really serious. So I thought it was going to be very quiet, but it still managed to be a bit wild. I was on the night before my birthday. I was on the phone on a Zoom call with all my friends in Australia. So we had a mini party. Then I went to bed and woke up, and then I had a party with my friends in Ireland on Zoom. And then me and Danielle had our own little party in the house. So it was a pretty long party for lockdown.
Oh, well, happy birthday to you, that's for sure. It's lovely to see you both. Good luck with the album, and both of you stay safe. Good to talk to you.
You too. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much indeed. Strings Attached is their first album, and amazing thing. Singing with an orchestra.
Yeah.
Just fantastic. Those songs sound amazing.